Thursday. I've been talking about my favourite TV shows. I've been also talking about my favourite albums. And today I'm going to talk about a TV show which probably a lot of people may not know. And it was a show which was quite successful in the 80s, from mid-80s to end of the 80s. And it was called Highwaytoheaven. And it was an American fantasy drama on NBC in America, but we did get it in the UK. And the series featured a guy called Jonathansmith, who was an angel sent to Earth in order to help people in need. The person who plays this was Michaellandon. Now, most people would know Michaellandon from being in Little House on the Prairie and Bonanza. He was a Western star. But in this, Michaellandon is the person who's sent to help people in need, and he has an assistant who is Victor French, who's an ex-retired police officer. So, with this, Jonathansmith is a probationary angel sent to Earth to help people in need, the course of an assignment. He meets this retired policeman who's bouncing from job to job. And Mark helps him complete his assignments and come to believe in his true nature. While he's assisting Jonathan, helping people on Earth, feeling that Jonathan needs a companion in his lonely mission. And the boss, aka God, approves. Jonathan and Mark are given assignments where they help troubled souls overcoming their problems. So this was really probably prior to Quantum Leap, because though it wasn't doing time travel, it was about the same thing of helping people and the idea of charity, righteousness and so forth. As a TV show as a kid, I used to love this program. I always thought it had a good plot. I thought they were really interesting stories. To watch it now, it probably feels a bit dated, but I do feel that actually as a child I could relate to it. Did I understand the idea of it being an angel? Yes. I mean, I grew up understanding religion, but I always believed that if people were understanding religion or understanding righteousness or Christian beliefs, is the idea they should help people, and then that would mean helping anybody of any race, colour, gender, sexuality, whatever that is, or anybody in need, to help them overcome them problems. While I was growing up, I didn't see that enough, and so I found that television programs or books or things I read actually helped me to believe that there was people out there who could do them things. Now, the one thing is, due to Jonathan's angelic nature being an angel, they could work as police officers, medical personnel, teachers, social workers, or other skilled employees, because their background checks was provided for. I mean, the idea of this is like the Pretender; they can go in to do any jobs because they're helped with that. So Jonathan and Mark face the same difficulties as people on Earth, trying to rectify these problems, and have little to aid them beyond a bare outline of their assignment. So they're told the assignment and then they have to work it out. And they do all these wonderful things, moving on, coming up with these ideas. And then what the idea is, it's generally, at the early episodes, you didn't know if he was an angel. It's only when you start watching the program you start noticing it. And then you do get told that Jonathan actually was actually called Arthur Thompson, and he was a man who lived between a certain time, and he died of lung cancer. So the idea is that when he comes down to Earth, it's like his way of redeeming things. So in the spirituality realm, the idea is that when you actually die and go to a spiritual realm, is the idea you do tasks while you're in that world. Now, whether you want to call that heaven, I don't know, but it depends on your religious background. But for me, I think it's what it does. It teaches people that the idea of, this is a show which just helps people understand that there are things you can do, even if you don't have the money and so forth. You can do things of kindness. You can do charitable things and help people who are in more need than you are. I thought this program at the time was very powerful, and it's quite interesting that it used to be actually on Sundays in England, and I thought that was an interesting thing, because I did try and go to church as a child, and I know my mum and dad and me went to church, and they would tell us, you can't sit here because someone sits here, and we didn't resonate with that. We didn't resonate with this idea of that happening. My father was an atheist. My mum kind of believes in religion. I'm kind of in between. I've got in between. I was kind of in between, like my father, of this kind of atheism. Is there really anything there? And then a sort of understanding there is a spiritual aspect, and I kind of met in the middle, which I still do now. So I do feel this program, I think, really is beneficial to watch. I think it's really interesting, and again, it is something very nostalgic. So I wouldn't say it's for everybody, because it is in the 80s, so there's some things of it are probably quite cheesy for nowadays, but I think the concept of it is very strong, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to watch something which is uplifting, very much family friendly, could watch with the kids, and it also kind of teaches about spirituality and religion in a way without it being shoved down your throat. So yeah,